How do you get to $500,000 in 3 years?
Well, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about people calling
you got
the
a
bubble.
bet going online on that.
Yes, I do. People are calling Bitcoin a bubble that's bursting. Now, keep in mind that 2 months ago, Bitcoin is at $2,900, and people were saying it's never going to hit 3. Well, it hit 4 and it hit 5. If you look at the long-term trend of Bitcoin, it has been consistently up. I mean, who cares that it dropped $1,000 from $5,000 after it went from $2,900 to $5,000 in 2 months? It's still ahead from what it was 2 months ago.
John McAfee was always known for his audacious claims, but when it came to Bitcoin, he seemed almost prophetic. Even as skeptics dismissed it as a bubble, he insisted its rise was inevitable, driven by decentralization and adoption. To him, Bitcoin wasn't just an asset, it was a revolution against government control. But his defiance of authority led to his arrest in Spain in 2020 on U.S. tax evasion charges. As he awaited extradition, he continued championing financial freedom from his prison cell. Then on June 23, 2021, just hours after Spain approved his extradition, he was found dead in what officials ruled a suicide. Many questioned the circumstances, but his vision of a decentralized financial future remains a defining part of his legacy.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Bitcoin broke another record. Thursday, the digital currency topped $4,500 in trading, which means it's doubled in price in the past month alone. That's huge. And since the concept of cryptocurrency is still so new, many people see growth like this and want to compare it to a fiat currency, wondering when the bubble might burst. Cybersecurity expert John McAfee says this type of thinking is a mistake.
McAfee saw the skeptics as misguided. The real issue, he argued, wasn't Bitcoin itself, but rather the traditional financial system that sought to undermine it. The devaluation of national currencies, the inefficiencies of banking transactions, and government control over financial freedom. All of these were problems that Bitcoin sought to eliminate.
It is not a speculative investment, even though it is being used as such by many people. As the Bitcoin network grows, the value of Bitcoin grows. As people move into Bitcoin for payments and receipts, they stop using US dollars, euros, Chinese yuan, which in the long term devalues these currencies. So what you're seeing is more of a currency devaluation than a bubble in Bitcoin.
For McAfee, Bitcoin wasn't just a currency, it was a revolution. The decentralization of finance meant liberation from banks and government oversight, something he saw as necessary for true economic freedom. He frequently warned that governments would try to fight back, but he believed their efforts would be futile.
Why? Because as people start using more and more cryptocurrencies, things like Monero, which cannot be tracked at all, when they start using these things, suddenly governments are going to start losing income tax revenues. And they're going to panic, and they're going to say, this is against the law. But how do you stop something that cannot be stopped?
His predictions weren't just about Bitcoin's rise in price. They were about the inevitable struggle between centralized power and individual financial sovereignty. To him, Bitcoin and privacy coins weren't just investments. They were acts of defiance against a system designed to control.
You don't have to trust the person you're doing business with, because you can trust his transactions. You have no one capable of inflating or deflating the currency by their whims. The Fed can increase the supply, decrease the supply. They can monitor your movements through the central banking systems. You have no freedom financially.
McAfee often spoke of how cryptocurrencies would revolutionize financial independence. In his view, the ability to transact freely without government oversight was the ultimate form of freedom. The more people who used Bitcoin and other digital currencies, the harder it would be for governments to regulate or control them.
It will take over all aspects. People think that Bitcoin or the blockchain is owned by someone, by a company or by a consortium. No, this is strictly a mathematical formula that nobody owns, that we are all participating in.
The increasing popularity of cryptocurrencies, McAfee believed, would ultimately lead to the demise of traditional banking. Governments could try to control digital currencies, but their decentralized nature meant that no one entity could ever truly regulate them. He saw this as an inevitable shift, a reality that global economies would have to face.
I want to move the conversation a little bit about privacy and rights and cryptocurrencies, because we have seen different governments banning or, banning at the point of sale, basically. Obviously, they can't stop Bitcoin, but saying, well, you're not allowed to buy or sell it here in our country. And the inalienable right of financial freedom, I think that's something that's a super interesting topic, and also the privacy that comes related to that.
Cryptocurrency, according to McAfee, was the ultimate tool of the people, a way to remove financial dependence on centralized authorities that could manipulate and control wealth at will. His belief was rooted in the idea that blockchain technology was developed outside the influence of governments or corporations. Unlike traditional financial systems that are shaped by political and economic forces, cryptocurrency was born from mathematical principles, ensuring trust and security through decentralization. McAfee often pointed out that the very nature of blockchain and cryptocurrency meant that no government or institution could ever truly own it. This was, in his eyes, the key to financial independence. A world where transactions couldn't be monitored, funds couldn't be seized, and individuals had complete control over their wealth was the world he envisioned. It was a radical idea, one that defied centuries of financial tradition, but one that he saw as inevitable.
Cryptocurrency and the blockchain came from the people. It is a technology developed by a group of fewer than 12 individuals over a 5-year period, none of which worked for a secret government program or for a large corporation, which is where every major world-changing technology has come from for the past 100 years. Name one. Nuclear weapons. Everything has come from our government or corporations, but not the blockchain and cryptocurrency. This is ours, developed by the people for the people.
McAfee's perspective leaves us with an important question. Was he a visionary ahead of his time, predicting the inevitable rise of decentralized finance? Or was he simply someone who embraced the chaos and speculation of the crypto world, fueling its hype for his own benefit? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.